Yeah.
Yeah. So what else did you see other than that, Allison?
I saw Karate Robo Go! I saw that one. And Revenge a Love Story.
And did we talk about that? I don't think we did talk about that. Why don't you talk about Revenge a Love Story? I did not get to see it.
So,
are you hanging out? Or are you
Revenge a Love Story is a revenge movie. Surprise!
Yeah.
And a love story.
And both a love story and a revenge movie. And I got it, it had a point. It had morals. Whatever.
What was it about?
There's a dude, kind of like a loser dude, selling steamed buns on the side of the road.
Delicious. Not a metaphor.
Kind of has a crush on a girl with some obvious mental handicaps.
I can relate.
Sure.
And this girl gets mistaken for a prostitute. Can I give that away? It happens early.
Okay.
And some horrible shit happens to her, and the movie is all about his revenge and
against these corrupt cops
for fucking up this girl who is mentally disabled.
Yeah.
Who they thought was a prostitute, and he was just trying to nail.
Yeah.
Okay, fair
Basically.
enough.
Yeah. And
If this is a movie about cops getting fucked up, I'm all about that.
Well, that
it is.
There
It
you
is.
go.
I mean, even if there's rape,
Yeah.
you would look right past
that
the
would
rape.
that would
He
justify
wants a
it.
cop to get raped with a nightstick.
Who doesn't?
The movie's Chinese, and as I can't remember who said it, but they said it's like a Korean revenge film. Only since it's Chinese, it's 90 minutes instead of 3.5
I believe it
hours.
was Brian Kelly who said
Oh,
that.
fair
Yeah.
enough.
Which is a very good point.
It's very true. It's a very much Korean movie, but it's Chinese.
Yeah, and it's cool. I mean, it starts off and you think the guy, just in the very beginning, you think the guy is like some lunatic serial killer.
Yeah.
But then you realize what's going on,
Yeah.
and that, no, he is just hell-bent. And, of course, it's one of those, like I said, be careful when you stare into the abyss, because when you do, it looks into you.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Life is
every
hell.
revenge movie. Like every revenge movie.
Without wizards.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
No wizards at all.
It needs, I like the 80s revenge movies where it's like, yeah, I'm going to get revenge. I'm going to fuck some shit up. Everybody's dead. I win. The end. That's my kind of revenge.
Starring Charles Bronson.
There's a lot of, I think, cultural disconnect with. We're used to a good old-fashioned 3-act structure.
Yeah.
This has like 7 acts or something.
No, she's right. Yeah, it's very weird. It's told in these chapters.
You really have to have a more developed palette for the Asian film / storytelling that doesn't pan out exactly the way you think it should in 3 acts. And
Sure.
It doesn't have the same rhythm.
That's a
and so-
given going into Asian film these days. You're like, don't expect the pacing to be anything
be
like
correct,
what
yeah.
we're used to from Occidental films.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the each of the little titles has or chapter breaks has a subtitle for it, and it's like some
kind of
fortune cookie.
yeah.
Yeah, one of the
It's
movies
like-
I saw did that too. Smuggler did
It's like
that.
the petulant bird is never happy.
And you're like,
It's
what?
like, what?
It's kind of like my stepdad, who's Venezuelan, like giving me some kind of a moral, the crabs in the coconut tree, you know how they are. I'm like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Drink it right
If I
up.
get crabs in my coconuts, I can use a special shampoo. I'm not down with that.
Sometimes 3 or 4 times.
tiny brush.
You got to bleach the couch. It's not
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
It's not fun.
I read all this, by the way. I don't know this. And Leon's blog.
Hey, don't throw shrapnel my way.
I just matrix dodged out of the way and let it hit you.
You dodge the crabs.
Yay!
What else did you see, Leon?
Let's see. Well, I saw The Devil's Business.
Yeah, no, so that's one of the ones I really
me
want to
too.
hear
That was the next one
about.
I was going to bring up.
Yeah, why don't you talk about that one?
It was good.
Well, it was something of a Twilight Zone episode where you got your old Irish hitman and his young new wannabe
Dipshit.
Yeah, dipshit English, wannabe hitman, and they go on a job to kill somebody the boss has sent them to get. And a lot of it is just the character stuff between the two of them.
Yeah, it's very chatty.
Very chatty, like that.
You even described it like a play almost.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did. Like a I don't know. You said it felt like almost it was you could have done it on the stage.
It does feel like a play.
I love the tone in Leon's voice.
Have you been
What
drunk
did you
all
say,
day?
motherfucker?
Well, the weird thing is, it does feel like that, but I don't remember saying that.
Well,
Especially
maybe I was drunk.
Okay.
Or maybe you were drunk.
Maybe.
I'm
Maybe we
This
were
movie
both
feels like a
drunk.
wild cross between House of the Devil and My Dinner with Andre.
Yes.
Like it's,
Wow.
Yeah, because the whole movie's driven by their conversation, which actually is really good. Like it's hard to sell somebody on a movie where it's 75 minutes long and a good 20 minutes of that is just these two guys talking. Well, even probably more than that.
It's way more
Probably,
than that.
yeah, a good half of it even.
Yeah.
It's just two guys talking to each other, and you're like, well, that doesn't sound interesting at all. But in fact, the older Irish guy is a really great storyteller. Mm-hmm. And it's him kind of telling stories about the old days, and then they find out that, this is probably not the best target for them, the best house for them to be in.
Yeah.
There's some weird shit
There's
going
one
on.
moment where they walk into that storage shed, and it's like, oh, what the fuck is
We
going
need to
on
get out of
here?
here.
Yeah, and they're like, we got to finish the job. But the young guy's like, no,
we need to leave.
And, well, damn it, he was right.
Yeah.
So it's like Barcelona if Barcelona were interesting.
Wow, that was I'm
Like-
trying to. Barcelona is not where my head was. With
I'm
what
just
they were
thinking
saying.
of boring, chatty ass movies that needed something to happen in them.
Yeah. And
Well, that
then,
had sex in it.
blammo, it's the devil.
Blammo's the devil, bam!
Well, what was the name of it
Yeah.
again? The movie again?
Devil's Business.
Devil's Business.
Okay, so
It's
naturally
by the-
he was going to show up at some point.
Yeah, it's,
Maybe he was going to tell
no,
a
it's not a
conference,
big
but-
surprise. That's why it's like House of the Devils, because you know something's wrong from the get-go.
Sure.
And the tension comes from the fact that you know some shit's going to go down. You don't know when, but the characters don't seem to know. And you're like, get the fuck out, get the fuck out, get the fuck out, get the fuck out.
And they don't get the fuck out.
No.
And then the devil's like, what the hell are you guys doing here? Do you want a beer?
It gets gruesome. It gets gruesome.
Oh, man,
yeah.
does it get gruesome.
Yeah.
So, very high recommendations on that
It's
front?
one of my favorites of the fest. I didn't
Me
love
too.
it, but I really liked it.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
I was the same way. I didn't love it because of how simple it was, but what I did really like about it, I loved. I mean, the two actors, they carried all the way through. It's just, for me, a lot of times with something like this, I'm so into the characters and just the straight story that the supernatural element, even though I know, hey, that was a deal when I got in there. But by the time it comes, I'm like, oh, you couldn't put this off or put that in another movie. I just want to see a straight crime story.
Right.
At that point.
Well,
But
and it's
no,
by the
I was
guy-
glad. I was like, yeah,
I'm
Satan.
blanking on his name. I'm blanking on his
Yeah, but
name,
you're
and I
always
apologize.
like that.
It's true.
That's
But-
why I don't take you to church anymore.
The guy
hard.
that the guy that directed a movie a few Fantastic Fests ago called Lie Still, and then he did one of the segments of what was the name of that movie? The Little Deaths, which was an anthology movie that played South by last year. So he's familiar to the Austin film circuit, and he's a really great director. And I think he really takes a very simple concept, a very small scale concept, and does something really interesting with it.
Cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing that one, actually. It's I've been one of the most highly recommended films on a personal level through this fest, and yet I guess it didn't win any awards or anything.
No, it didn't get a lot of buzz.
It's weird that, like, online it doesn't seem to be getting any, but everybody I've talked to in person who's seen it's like, oh, you
It's a
gotta
hard
see
sell.
it.
It is a really hard sell to convince people to go see, because the easier way to sell it is it's 75 minutes. Even if you don't like it, you're going to be out of there soon.
Yeah. Yeah, that is definitely easier.
So if you liked it, chat it up.
Yes, definitely.
Indeed. As we are doing
That's
now.
what we strive to do.
And, another movie that I saw that I really liked, and I think that the people were mixed feelings because the subject matter is so icky, and yet it presents itself as if it was like a charming character study almost, was Sleep Tight. Now, this was directed by, I have no idea how to pronounce the name when it's spelled J-A-U-M-E.
I think it's Juame Balaguer.
Juame Balaguer. Thank you, sir.
I think.
My worldly
listen to
friend,
you.
Jason.
I am a fan of the director.
Well, yes, because he co-directed and co-wrote Wreck and Wreck 2,
Which are
and I believe
badass.
he's doing Wreck 4 Apocalypse, I think is the subtitle of it. Like,
Yeah,
Wreck
the way it
3 is
broke down-
Genesis.
No, that's Resident Evil.
No,
No, he's right. The third one's being done by the other guy of the first two Wreck films, and then
Yeah.
he's doing the fourth one, and
Yeah.
they're coming back together together for the
for a final
fifth one.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, you know what? Those first two films were so great, and the second one I thought was such a wow. This took it directions I couldn't have expected
Yeah.
and built on it, and it was so much. It was the aliens to the first Alien, to use that tired old chestnut yet again.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I'm really anxious to see where they're going from there. The trailer is available now. You can see it.
Trailer's
Where
pretty cool.
it's clearly not a found footage any longer. And now it's just out on the streets.
See,
craziness.
somebody told me that it's actually going to start as a traditional narrative,
Well,
the way it's shot.
it looks like it's at a wedding at first,
Yeah.
and then it goes to it does the whole it breaks into chaos, and then it looks like it's just from there on, it's just a regular film.
It's hard to tell from the trailer, but
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Super. But this, what we're talking about, is a film by, like I said, one of the directors. This movie, Sleep Tight, is a total departure for him, even though it still takes place in a very, claustrophobic apartment building.
How fucked up with the apartments in Spain
Yeah.
that these guys keep making these movies?
Well, see,
I
that's
know.
the thing. He also did 6 films to keep you awake. I've only seen... They're good.
I have not seen those.
I've only seen 2 of them. And they are about apartment buildings as well. And I'm
Wow.
like...
Seriously.
What are you, fucking Roman Polanski? Obsessed with how horrible the apartments are?
But yeah, no, it's not. This isn't The Tenant by any means, but
Repulsion.
right. It's a bit. You follow around the guy who's he's the maintenance guy / door guy, indoor door guy, not the guy in the fancy outfit standing outside, working at this one of these apartment buildings. He's real friendly. All the people who live there clearly really like him. You like him at first. You're like, wow, he's a sweet guy. He seems pretty nice. And, it seems clear that he has kind of a crush on this one hot girl who lives in the building. You're like, oh, she is pretty hot. I'd have a crush on her, too. You're kind of with it until you realize that what this guy does is, every night, before she gets home from work, he lets himself into her apartment and crawls under her bed and waits till she gets home, crawls into bed, and goes to sleep. He waits till she's asleep, ethers her to make sure she stays passed out, and proceeds to have sex with her.
Wow.
Brushes his teeth with her toothbrush, takes a shower, stays...
Fuck.
Yeah.
Wait. So that's not good to do?
Yeah, that would be rape, Leon.
Chris, Cyrus, Leon has something to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it, Leon?
In lieu of this conversation, maybe I should just not say anything.
But it's focused entirely on this character. And it's odd. We were having a conversation about this earlier tonight, Leon, me and Corey, about how when you take a movie, if you're a protagonist, no matter what fucking hideous shit he or she does, if they're the protagonist and we're exclusively following them, it's hard not to let your sympathies fall with them. There's a sequence in the
He
film.
was just lonely.
There's a sequence, and it's the thing is because it's human nature,
Okay, how
not
hot was
because
she?
of the film. She's pretty hot.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, so there.
Yeah,
She
so-
is more
It's her
Italian
fault for
thing.
being so hot.
She had it coming. No, she did not. She did not have it coming. I do not want to be quoted for that. But there's,
Our
for
more
instance,
feminist fans are waiting to hit us with hammers in the dick right now.
For instance, there's a
I
sequence
got
in
it. I
here.
got it.
There's a
Into it.
sequence in
I
here
got
where
it.
he's trying to get out of the apartment, and he's trapped, and he's dodging around her and her boyfriend trying to escape.